Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we have a couple different things going on here. Number one, we have a new favorite concealer. I'm just gonna drop that like a bomb. I literally have a new Holy Grail concealer. It's $7 and this is it. The day that I thought would never come has come. I'm sure you guys have heard about it, but it's from the brand Makeup Revolution. It was kind of floating around for a while that this was like a Tarte Shape Tape dupe and all of that. However, I was just like, bullshit. I just was not a believer. Nothing even is on the same playing field as Tarte Shape Tape, so I was like, I don't believe it. I love my Tarte Shape Tape. I will stick with it. But my friend Jelaine really wanted me to do this, and so I was like, I mean, why not at least try it? It's $7. So I did. And the first day I wore it, I knew. And I'll get into explaining why and all of that a little bit further into this video when I apply it to my face. But right out of the gate, I just had to let you guys know that I have a new favorite concealer. It's $7. And yeah. Also, when I went to Ulta, they had a sale on all Makeup Revolution products. It was buy two, get the third one free. So I was like, okay, while I'm here, let's just do it. So I got a couple other Makeup Revolution goodies that we were going to try today. And I don't know if I'm just like late to the game or what, because I've heard of the brand Makeup Revolution. Like I knew who they were and all of that. I've never actually like gone to Ulta and like look at their products. And I realized something fishy. But basically they rip off high-end brands and high-end companies' ideas, but then they make it the same way, maybe like a different layout, but the same color scheme, the same types of things as high-end like signature brands, but then do it really, really well and at a very, very cheap price. That's kind of what's up with this concealer and the Tarte Shape Tape. We have these little liquid highlighter illuminating drops, which are just like the Cover FX drops. They had the same color scheme as the Anastasia Subculture palette, but they have knockoffs of like the Solstice, like sleek Solstice highlighter palettes, Chocolate Bar, Too Faced stuff. I don't know, guys. It was weird. Your girl was a little shook. So with all the rambling aside, basically today's video is going to be testing out some of these new Makeup Revolution products and my new favorite concealer. Also, Jamie Genevieve, I don't know if you guys know who she is. She is like a Scottish YouTuber and I freaking love her accent, and also she has the cutest dog of all time. But she just did a makeup look on her channel, which was like super dewy, glowy skin. And then she used this Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink in the shade Fighter. So I went out to go get this one because a couple videos ago I used one of these, but I used like a very nude color and I really wanted to try a bold color to see how that played out and how that worked. I was very curious. So I really wanted to play around with this. So this makeup look is going to be inspired by Jamie Genevieve today, mainly because I loved the skin that she did and this liquid lipstick. Let's just go ahead and jump into this video and start putting things on my face. So first off, to prime the skin, I'm going to go in, of course, again with my NYX Angel Veil Primer. This is just my jam. I love it so much. I'm just going to go in with this basically on my T-zone to fill in all of my pores and have my skin looking nice and smooth before we go in with foundation. Since we are going for a very glowy look today on the skin, I'm going to take this little sample of MAC strobe cream that I have. This is the pink strobe cream, and I'm just going to take a little bit of this and we're just going to put it on my skin underneath the foundation because this will just bring a really pretty glow to shine through underneath the foundation. Also, I really like the MAC strobe cream because it's actually very hydrating. It's not just like a glowy product, like it makes your skin feel really hydrated. Now that we are primed and ready to go, I'm going to wear today my favorite foundation combination that I've been wearing lately. I believe I wore it a couple videos ago, but I have been obsessed with this combination that it gives on my skin. I'm gonna mix my L'Oreal Pro Matte Infallible with my NARS Radiant Longwear Foundation. And this combo right here has been like my dream team. And this is a little too dark for me right now, but I still have some fake tan on my neck, so I'm just gonna try to match it to that. Just the way the cookie crumbles. But I've really been liking this combination together because the L'Oreal Pro Matte is a very long-wearing, very matte foundation. However, the NARS is a very radiant, luminous, skin-like, gorgeous finish, but it honestly doesn't have the longest wear time, even though it's one of my favorite foundations right now. So when I mix these two together, the L'Oreal Pro Matte makes the NARS foundation last a lot longer on my skin, and it's just a lot more full coverage, but it still has that beautiful, natural, dewy look to it. All right, and I just think it looks so pretty. It's like definitely full coverage, but it looks just more like skin with that NARS mixed into it. It just looks like you have a nice, healthy glow. I'm just healthy, you know, like I've been drinking a lot of water. I'm very hydrated, thank you for asking, type of thing. So now for the most exciting part of this video, in mi opinion, we are gonna go in with the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Conceal and Contour. That's a lot of concealing right there for you. But this is what the packaging looks like right here. And it even has a little doe foot applicator, very similar to the Tarte Shape Tape. I see you. And then this is in the shade C4. If I could go back, I would easily get the shade maybe C2, C3. Something is a little bit lighter. This one is fine, but I like to really brighten up my under eye. However, Ulta was sold out of C2 and C3, and I was too impatient to wait and buy this concealer at another time. It's not like the color's too dark, it's just not quite as bright as I'd like it to be. All right, so now we're just gonna go ahead and blend this out underneath the eyes. One thing that I love about this concealer is it creases way less than Tarte Shape Tape. And Tarte Shape Tape doesn't crease really bad or anything, but it definitely does. And this one almost has no creasing. I would say the Tarte Shape Tape has a titch more full coverage at just canceling out the dark circles, but just look at that coverage for $7. Another thing that I love about this one compared to the Tarte Shape Tape is it's a little less thick, which is probably why it creases less. And it's also a little less drying than Tarte Shape Tape. Not that I think that Tarte Shape Tape is like extraordinarily drying or anything, but just comparing the two, it's definitely less dry, creases less, and I think looks more natural than Tarte Shape Tape. Just look at that under eye. It already looks so smooth, and there's not even any powder on it yet. This concealer blows my mind. It is lightweight, but has full coverage, isn't too cakey, isn't too heavy. I can't say enough good things about this concealer. It is $7. As of right now, I knew from the first moment I've tried it, but this is probably my 4th time wearing it, and every single time, I'm just like, dang girl, you're having a good makeup day. I think it's a little less matte than the Tarte Shape Tape, so my face overall looks a little bit more radiant. This is $7 freaking dollars. So if you're looking for a kick-ass concealer and you just haven't committed to the Tarte Shape Tape yet, because it is a little pricey, please go try this out for $7. It's so good in my opinion. Okay, so I'm not gonna powder my under eyes quite yet because we are gonna go in with this Makeup Revolution liquid highlighter in the shade Luster Gold. Once again, I wish I would have gotten a little bit of a lighter color. However, Ulta was all sold out and I was just too freaking eager. The color definitely works for me. I just would like something a little bit more light. These are very, very similar to Cover FX Custom Enhancer drops that everyone fangirled over for so long. How can you not think that these are similar? They have the same idea, basically the same packaging. I'll swatch them for you side by side. The Cover FX ones are more intense and far more metallic, which is great. However, it makes them almost unwearable to a point because they are so metallic and so in your face that they're kind of too hard to work with and too hard to realistically wear on your face. Look at that. That is actual metallic, liquid metallic right here. So this is the Cover FX ones right there. A lot more pigmented and just like dense of a metallic, whereas the Makeup Revolution ones, in my opinion, are a lot more wearable because they're a little less metallic in a good way. They're also a little bit more oily, also in a good way. Actually, I freaking take that back. Look how intense that Makeup Revolution one is. I lied to your face. They're both super metallic. They're not similar colors whatsoever, but the Makeup Revolution ones are a little less thick, a little less metallic when you spread them out. I would say they're a tiny bit more glittery, but not too bad on the face at all. And since they are a little bit more oily, I think that they're easier to work with, but it still doesn't like disturb your foundation underneath. I like it a lot so far. So I'm just gonna drip a little bit onto my hand. So I got a little pile right here, and then I'm gonna go in with my sponge. And the reason why I didn't powder my under eyes is because I didn't want this to react weird with any powders. So I'm just going to grab a little bit, kind of spread it out on my sponge so it's not all in one spot, and we're just gonna go ahead and dab this on. It's just a beautiful color, a beautiful sheen, and since it is a little oily, the second you put on a powder highlight on top of it, it just sticks to it and freaking beams off your face. I think it's so pretty. And on the plus side, the Cover FX drops, I believe, are in the price range of either high 30s or low $40. And these Makeup Revolution drops were $9. So either way, I definitely don't think the Cover FX drops are worth splurging in. I just don't think that they're worth that much money, especially for kind of how hard they are to wear and look naturally when you can get this for $9. I think it's so pretty. So now what I like to do is, since this product is still a little oily and is still a little sticky on the face, I'm going to layer on my powder highlight right now. So I'm gonna go a little bit out of order of how I normally do things, but I just think this will look really good. Let's just stick with drugstore for the highlighting themes, and I'm gonna go in with my Maybelline New York Expert Eyewear eyeshadow. This is an eyeshadow, but I use it as a highlighter all the time. This is in the shade The Glow Down, and you don't need as much as you normally pile on because A, you already have highlighter on, and B, it's like sticky and oily. So I'm just gonna get a tiny bit on my brush, and we're just gonna lightly, and it makes your highlighter last all freaking day because it has something to really stick onto since we don't have any powder on our face yet, if that makes sense. So now we have the highlighter done. Quickly, I'm just going to make sure that there's no creases on my eyelids or underneath my eyes from the concealer. I'm just gonna make sure it's blended one last time before we set it because you don't want to set creases, obviously. I'm gonna take a little bit of my RCMA No Color Powder, which I haven't used in a while, but I miss it. And I'm just gonna push this underneath my eyes. I'm not gonna go everywhere with this powder. I just want it right underneath my eyes where I crease. I'm trying not to cover that highlight. And then I'll bring it down on the side of my nose because I do get oily there. Put some of this on our eyelids so they do not crease as well. And I'm gonna put a little dab on my chin. Really all the normal places I would powder, but I'm just keeping it a little bit more controlled since we do have that highlight on. I'm just gonna not cover that part. I do want to use this ColourPop bronzer again. Sorry I've been using it in kind of the last couple of videos, but I really have been liking it. And I think it picks up a little more orange on camera than it does in person, because in person, I don't think it looks too orange at all, but I have really been enjoying this bronzer. And since this bronzer is a little shimmery, it'll just make the overall dewy, healthy skin look a little bit more complete in my opinion. A little bit on the nose just to complete the bronziness. Also, while we're in here, since we went in with an overall just very glowy bronzer, I want to sculpt my face just a teensy bit. Just gonna stick with this palette, take a little bit of these two, but today I'm gonna use my Morphe M523 brush. I'm gonna take a couple dabs of each of those, and I'm just gonna keep this right back here. I'm not gonna bring it in too far whatsoever. For today's blush, I'm going to go in with this Becca Mineral Blush in the shade Flower Child. This is seriously one of the most beautiful blushes of all time. It has a beautiful gold undertone, so it's definitely shimmery, but it just gives the softest pink flush to the cheeks. And this will also help with the whole dewy face look that we are trying to achieve. Okay, and one last thing that I got from Makeup Revolution is the Pro Fix Illuminating Fixing Spray. So I've used this a couple of times. First of all, the mist is nice. That is a great mist to have. If I recall, I believe this was $8, and I've tried it a couple times, and the first time I put it on my skin, I just thought it made my makeup look great. It made it look very fresh and very skin-like. I feel like it very much transformed the appearance of my makeup, which I loved, but I wasn't sure if it really made my makeup last longer. So I think this is a great job at making the skin just look illuminated, healthy, dewy, radiant. How many times am I going to say that in this video? So far, once again, I have no complaints. These are the first 3 Makeup Revolution products I've ever tried, and they're 3 for 3. And just so blown away by these products that I've tried so far. For the price and for the quality, I have had 0 complaints. Really quick off of camera, I'm going to go ahead and toss on some eyebrows, and I will be right back. For today's eye makeup, I'm going to be using the Maybelline The City Mini Palette with Shayla. Makeup by Shayla, she is a YouTuber. And I just think it's so cute and like practical and small. So I'm really excited to give this a try. So we're going to use it a little bit for today's video, and I'll probably use it in a future video and use more of these fun colors over here, but today we're going to keep it pretty natural. First, I'm going to take my Morphe M513 brush, and let's just take this very nude color and just kind of toss this all in the lid space just to make sure nothing is sticky. This probably isn't going to show up at all, but just to set everything down. Okay, now I don't necessarily want to go in with this color right away because that is pretty dark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the bronzer that we used. So I'm going to go back in with this ColourPop bronzer, and I'm going to pick up a little bit of this and toss this in my crease. I love using bronzers as eyeshadows, especially like the bronzer that I used that day, and then going in and using that in my crease as well. I just think it gives a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Cohesive. I think it just gives a very cohesive look when you're just trying to keep it chill and keep it natural. I'm gonna grab a little bit more of a focused, smaller blending brush. This is my Morphe M433. Y'all know the drill. And now we're gonna go in with this little shade, and I'm just gonna pick up the smallest amount because that ish is pigmented. And I'm just gonna work this into the crease a tiny bit. I really don't want this to get too crazy at all, so I'm just gonna define my crease a little bit with it, put a tiny bit on the outer third corner, and then we're gonna go back in with that bronzer shade just to blend it out very quickly. It looks pretty messy right now, not gonna lie. Then we're just gonna go back with that fluffy brush, and we're gonna go back with this lighter nude shade right up here, and let's just blend it all together. Go back into my bronzer color. I'm going to take this pencil brush. This is a Morphe E18. I'm going to take a little bit of that bronzer again, and I'm just going to roughly and kind of lowly run this underneath my waterline. Then we are going to grab a more fluffy brush like this Morphe M506 with that really dark shade, and I'm also going to put this very lightly and kind of very grungily and messily underneath the lower lash line as well. And kind of connect it up over here in that outer corner. I'm bringing it pretty low, honestly. I'm also going to take a little bit of the black shade in the Shayla palette on this little itty bitty teensy brush, which is the Morphe E213. And I'm just going to put this really close to my lower lash line right on the very outside, just to make it that much more dark and grungy. Okay, so my eyes are watering way too much today, which is fine. It's just gonna be a little messy out here. Oh, it's so wet down there. Like, they won't stop watering. All right, so what we're gonna do actually is I'm gonna take these drops again, and I'm going to put a little dab on my hand, and I'm gonna take my pinky, and we're going to toss this kind of all over the lid, just to bring a little bit of sheen and dimension. I seriously can't remember the last time my eyes have been watering this much, so I don't know if that's because of this eyeshadow palette, but like, my eye makeup is getting destroyed. Honestly, if I could go back with how much my eyes are watering, I would wear almost no eye makeup and just toss these drops on my eyelids. I think that itself looks really pretty, but I don't know if it was the blending brush I was using or if it's for some odd reason this eyeshadow, but my eyes are watering a ton. But I'm gonna go ahead and toss on some mascara off of camera and I will be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and put on some mascara and I'm not even kidding you guys, my eyes will not stop watering out here at all and it hurts, it like stings. So with that aside, I'm really quick going to spritz my face one more time with this setting spray. While we're still feeling a little wet from that, I'm just going to dab on a little bit more highlighter just on the high points of my cheeks. And then I'm also going to highlight my inner corners with this highlight and a little bit extra on the brow bone. Now we are drenched in highlight and looking good. So the last thing we need to add is the lips. So I recall that I don't really like these lip liners, but I don't really have a color that I want. So I'm just going to try this. This is a Rimmel Exaggerated Full Lip Color Liner. If I remember though, they're just like really creamy. Oh, I don't think I'm gonna like this, but I'm just gonna go ahead and line my lips a tiny bit with it. It just like balls up. No, I hate this lip liner, don't buy it. Just stick with like NYX suede lip liners or anything but this really. I'm just not even gonna try. We'll just try to line my lips a little bit with the actual lip product. So like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, we are gonna use these Maybelline Super Stay Matte Ink Lip products. And I actually did use this in a video a couple times ago, but it was a very nude shade called Driver. And this shade is called Fighter. And it's like a beautiful burnt orangey brown shade. And right away, I didn't think I was gonna like this lip product because it was super, super sticky. I actually hated it for about the first hour that I wore it. And then after that, the stickiness completely went away and it lasted forever on my mouth. So I wanted to try some darker colors, and then if the stickiness really bothers me for that first hour, I can just toss on something really light over it that just kind of masks that texture. But overall, it stayed on my lips forever. So I really wanted to try a darker shade, and this is actually the shade that Jamie Genevieve used in her video, which inspired kind of this whole beautiful skin and this lip combo. Like, let me try to show you how sticky this is. You can literally watch my lips part. That's disgusting. Like, that's how sticky it is right away. But overall, like, the end result and how long it stays is beautiful. I think it only stays sticky for about a half hour. And since the stickiness just drives me bonkers, I'm just gonna take my Maybelline matte lipstick in the shade Clay Crush, and I'm just gonna dab this just in the center of my lips a little bit, and also bring a little bit of dimension to the lip. All right, that already feels so much better. It is not sticky anymore, and so by the time that this lipstick on top fades, hopefully the lipstick underneath won't be sticky anymore. I think that this lip product would be great if it wasn't so sticky, so just adding a lipstick on top or maybe a gloss would be a great option, and I just want to make these work because their colors are beautiful. They also had another shade that was like a very rosy berry color that I wanted to buy, but I decided to take it one step at a time to make sure that I do really like these products before I keep buying them. But the color range is so pretty. They stay on forever. It's just that initial stickiness. So if we can get past that, then we are good to go. This is today's finished look right here, inspired by Jamie Genevieve just a little bit with this lipstick mainly and the focus on this beautiful dewy skin that we have going on today. I really like the way it turned out, except for my eyes are still burning right here, and this never really happens to me at all. I don't know. And I think this is just a really simple, pretty makeup look that's just really focused on like skin and lips and not so much on the eyes, which I really like, just to switch it up from how my makeup looks have been going recently, have been very eye makeup heavy and eye oriented. So this is kind of a nice switch of pace. But that is it, you guys. That is all that I have for today's video. I really loved trying out these new Makeup Revolution products. Let me know if you guys have any suggestions of any more Makeup Revolution products to try out, because I'm definitely intrigued. I am a 3 for 3 with them right now, which is a good big A+ in my book, which is really exciting. You already know that I love trying out new products. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Oh, just sneeze. Yes! Am I the only person that loves sneezing? Like, I find it insanely satisfying. No? Okay. If you enjoyed today's video, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel so you can come back and hang out with me more. And other than that, I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye guys. Spirit fingers.